Viewer discretion advised. The disappearance of Maura Murray. A promising nursing student disappears on a cold Friday night. Her car is found abandoned on a quiet New Hampshire road. No footprints, no witnesses, no trace. It's been over 20 years since Maura Murray vanished without a sound, and still the question lingers: what happened to Maura Murray? Hello everyone, and welcome back. Today we are going to take a little bit of a deep dive into one of the most chilling missing persons cases in American history. It's one of the first viral missing person cases. So Maura, and if I'm saying her name incorrectly, I'm sorry. I have not ran into this name before, but I'm trying. I'm thinking it's like Laura, but with an M. So Maura disappeared in 2004, and it has become one of the most widely discussed, unsolved, cold cases on the internet. So let's take a look at the facts, the contradictions, the theories, and see, what do we think, basically. Who was Maura Murray? Maura Murray was born on May the 4th, 1982, in Hanson, Massachusetts. She was the fourth child of 5 children. She was raised in a tight-knit Irish Catholic family. Her father, Fred, was a longtime medical technician. Her mother, Lori, struggled with some health issues and eventually left the family when Maura was in high school. Despite the challenges, Maura excelled academically and athletically, earning a scholarship to the prestigious West Point Military Academy. However, she left West Point in the second year after an honor code violation involving a stolen item. She transferred to the University of Massachusetts, Amherst, to study nursing and seemed to adjust pretty well. By late 2003, early 2004, things began to kind of unravel. In November, she was caught using a stolen credit card to order food. She was facing disciplinary action, but never jail. On February the 5th, 2004, Maura broke down during her job as campus security. Her supervisor described her as being in a trance-like state. When asked what was wrong, she simply said, "My sister." Later, it was revealed that she had spoken with her older sister, Kathleen, who was recently discharged from rehab and had a fight with her fiance that night. So it's really unclear if that was what triggered her breakdown at work. February 7th, Maura's dad came to visit, and he was helping her shop for a new car. That night, she ended up borrowing his Toyota Corolla and crashed it into a guardrail around 3:30 a.m. She claimed that she didn't really remember the accident. The damage was substantial, but no one was seriously hurt. And the next day, her dad filed a claim with insurance. Skip to February the 9th, Maura emailed her professors to say that there had been a death in the family and that she would be gone for the whole entire week. There hadn't been a death in her family, which is a very strange detail to this whole story. Then more information came out, and she withdrew $280 from her account and bought $40 worth of alcohol. Now, this left her account with pretty much nothing in it. Then, so this was a time before, like, we had GPS on our phones and, like, Tom-Toms, I think that's what they were called, where she had a company print directions for her, and she went and picked them up. So there was, like, a paper trail for that. And the directions that were printed were for Burlington, Vermont. So that's assuming that's where she was headed. Before she left, she packed up all of her belongings into boxes and placed them neatly in her dorm room, even removing all of the artwork and everything from the walls. This left many to wonder if she was, like, planning to just be gone forever, or even planning to come back at all. The disappearance. She began driving sometime that afternoon, the same day that she packed everything up. She took Route 112, a rural highway winding through the White Mountains of New Hampshire. Cell phone pings suggest that she was heading somewhere in the Lincoln or Woodsville area. And at 7:27 p.m., a local woman heard a loud thump outside and called 911. Turns out her black 1996 Saturn was found crashed against a snowbank in Woodsville, just outside of Haverville. Within minutes, Butch Atwood, that was a local school bus driver, came across the crash site. He said that she appeared shaken but unhurt. When he offered to call 911, she declined it, insisting that she had already reached out to AAA. But there was no cell signal in that area, like it was just well known. And the records show that there was no call made, probably because it was impossible. So Butch Atwood, the bus driver, took it upon himself to call 911. And between the time that he drove away and the first officer arrived, there was only like 7 to 10 estimated minutes. She was gone. Maura was gone. Police found the driver's side door locked. But inside the vehicle, they discovered an empty box of Franzia wine, a Coke bottle that reeked of alcohol, her personal items, including school books and some, I guess, cherished stuffed animals. But her debit card, cell phone, and car keys were missing. There were no footprints on the freshly fallen snow. No sign of a struggle, no blood, no drag marks, just the crashed car, and no sign of the girl. The first officer on the scene didn't treat the car crash as a crime scene, so there were no photographs taken right then and there, and the car was towed away within hours. The investigation. Initially, authorities believed that Maura was a runaway. After all, she was an adult. There was no sign of foul play. But her family disagreed. They believed something had happened to her, something far more sinister. Fred, Maura's father, became increasingly critical of the investigation. He conducted his own searches and contacted the media. As the days wore on with no sign of his daughter, police began conducting aerial and ground searches, bringing in dogs and search teams. Dogs picked up a scent 100 yards from the crash site, leading down the road, and then, all of a sudden, the trail went cold, as if she had hopped into a car. One of the strangest pieces of evidence was a rag that was found stuffed into her exhaust pipe. Some speculate that it was placed to stall the car and make it appear disabled, so maybe she would get out or someone could take her. Others think that she could have possibly done it herself, and it could have been because she was confused, in a panic state. Another bizarre detail: several days after her disappearance, her boyfriend received a phone call from a number that he did not recognize. Now remember, this was in the early 2000s. So the way that we get all these spam calls and unknown numbers constantly, it wasn't like that. You pretty much got a call and it was a real call. So when he answers this unknown number, all he heard was sounds of sobbing. The call was eventually traced to a calling card from a Red Cross phone bank in Haverhill. Tips have poured in over the years, a span of more than 20 years, and searches of nearby properties, even a few concrete basements in 2006 came up empty. Long rumored sightings of a woman running through the woods also yield absolutely nothing. So no new information has appeared in this case, unfortunately. Theories. As of right now, there are 4 major theories about Maura's case. Either she ran away intentionally, she passed away from exposure, she was picked up by a stranger, or there was foul play by family or friends, or a boyfriend or an ex-boyfriend. As far as her running away intentionally, it kind of tracks, not gonna lie. The only thing you have to kind of figure out is what was the motive behind her running away. What did she do, or what did someone do to her for her to run away? There's been theories that she had some overwhelming feelings about her legal troubles. She had some personal relationship issues, or maybe possibly even a pregnancy. And so she was possibly premeditating to leave and just kind of not tell anybody. The second one is that she passed away from exposure. This one doesn't track very hard for me because they have not been able to really find any evidence even anywhere close to the scene. And really, she couldn't have gotten that far unless she did get away really, really far, and they just haven't searched that area. The second one doesn't really track for me. The third one, I definitely think that this is part of it, and this could have been foul play also. She was picked up in a car by someone. It could have been a boyfriend, an ex-boyfriend. It could have been a stranger, a serial killer. Who knows? It is possible that as she was leaving that 100 feet or whatever, where the trace went cold with the dogs, that someone just stopped and she hopped in their car. There were some theories about someone named Israel Keys, but there's no really direct links or evidence or anything like that it was him. And then the fourth one, kind of like foul play by a family member. I don't know, guys. No one really knows. These are just the theories that are the most popular. Each theory almost makes more questions. And if she did intend to disappear, then why did she leave everything behind? Like items that she would have needed to survive. If she died nearby, again, why has no one found a trace of her for over 20 years? And if she was taken, how did it happen so quickly? Was it someone else premeditating to take her? And who had that opportunity to do that? Did she set it up? Did someone stalk her? Did someone put the rag in her exhaust pipe and watch her? 20 years later, Maura's case has become legendary in the true crime world. Her disappearance was one of the first true crime stories to gain traction on social media and internet forums. It was featured in a widely popular series on Oxygen in 2007, And she has been the subject of numerous podcasts. I mean, look at what we're doing right now. In 2021, a fresh ground search was conducted based on new information provided to the New Hampshire Cold Case Unit. But once again, no trace of her was found. To this day, her family remains dedicated to finding answers. Her father, Fred Murray, continues to push for access to sealed police records. Her siblings advocate for a renewed investigation and advocate for public awareness of the case. Maura Murray would have been 43 years old today. Her disappearance is still listed as a suspicious missing persons case, and the internet, just as obsessed as it was in 2004, still searches for the truth. So what really happened to Maura Murray? Was it a planned escape, a tragic accident, or something far more sinister? Let me know what you think. That's probably very difficult on a family. So I wonder if we will ever figure out what happened. Well, that's all for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you like these. If you do, let me know. I can do these a lot more, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.